For centuries, the legend of the werewolf has haunted the villages of Europe, spreading fear and fascination. A creature, half man, half beast, roaming the nights of the full moon, hunting for its next victim. But what lies behind this terrifying figure? Is it just an ancient myth, a misunderstood medical condition, or something far more sinister? Today, on Enigmas and Mysteries, we delve into the dark origins and terrifying stories of the werewolf curse. Are you ready to uncover the truth behind this enigma? If you want to learn more about these mythical creatures and other chilling stories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss one of our upcoming videos full of mystery. The figure of the werewolf appears in almost every European culture. From ancient Greece to the Middle Ages, these stories vary, but the central theme is always the same. A man, condemned by a curse or by his own actions, transforms into a wolf under the light of the full moon. In ancient Greece, the myth of Lycaon tells how this king of Arcadia, in an attempt to test Zeus's omniscience, offered him human flesh. Zeus, enraged, turned him into a wolf, creating one of the earliest documented stories of a werewolf. In the Middle Ages, the werewolf became a symbol of evil. It was said that those who made pacts with the devil or committed grave sins could be condemned to a life as a werewolf. In France, Germany, and the Netherlands, stories abounded of men who, after drinking a magic potion or using a bewitched wolf's pelt, transformed into bloodthirsty beasts. The legends spread quickly, and the fear of werewolves became a palpable reality in many rural communities across Europe. But were there real werewolves? In 16th century Germany, a man named Peter Stump was accused of being a werewolf. According to testimony, Stump confessed, under torture, to making a pact with the devil and receiving a magical belt that allowed him to transform into a wolf. He claimed to have killed 14 children, 2 pregnant women, and his own son. Stump was brutally executed, but his case was not unique. In France, another famous case was that of Gilles Garnier, known as the Werewolf of Dole, who also confessed to attacking several children while transformed into a wolf. Public executions of werewolves were common in Europe during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. In some places, they were considered as real a threat as witches, and specific laws were enacted to judge and execute those accused of lycanthropy. Now, our video trivia. Did you know that during the Middle Ages, many werewolves were executed in the same way as witches, through burnings or public decapitations? Stay tuned until the end to find out how these myths influenced society at the time. Modern science has also attempted to explain the legend of the werewolf. One of the most accepted theories is clinical lycanthropy, a rare mental disorder in which people genuinely believe they are transforming into a wolf or another animal. This phenomenon could explain some of the confessions obtained under torture during the werewolf hunts. Another explanation is related to hypertrichosis, a rare genetic condition that causes excessive hair growth all over the body. People with this condition might have been perceived as wolf humans at a time when there was no modern medical knowledge. Additionally, certain food poisoning, such as consuming bread contaminated with ergot, a fungus that grows on rye and can cause hallucinations and aggressive behavior, may also have contributed to these legends. The myth of the werewolf has evolved over the centuries and has found a permanent place in popular culture. From the 1941 film The Wolf Man to modern sagas like Twilight and Underworld, werewolves have been portrayed as tragic creatures, often trapped in an internal struggle between their human side and their bestial nature. Why do we remain fascinated with werewolves? Perhaps because they represent that dark side of our own nature, that repressed desire for wild freedom, and to break free from the chains of civilization. Now, our trivia answer. During the witch hunts in Europe, many people accused of being werewolves were tortured until they confessed their crimes. These confessions were used to justify their public executions, further feeding the fear and myth of the werewolf. The obsession with werewolves reached such a level that, in some places, legal measures were adopted to hunt and kill them, much like what happened with witches. The werewolf myth is not limited to Europe. In Mexico, there is the legend of the Nahual, a human who can transform into an animal, often a wolf or a jaguar, using magical powers. In Scotland, there is the Wolver, a werewolf who, instead of being violent, is described as a solitary being who lives in the Shetland Islands and helps people in need. Why do so many cultures have versions of this creature? Perhaps the answer lies in a universal fear of the unknown, the wild power of nature, or the dark and bestial side that might reside within each of us. The figure of the werewolf is a reflection of our deepest fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the uncontrollable, and perhaps the fear of ourselves. Is the werewolf curse simply a myth passed down through generations, or is there something more behind these stories? In a world where truth and fiction often blend, the answer may lie somewhere in between. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of history, belief, and mystery. And remember, always question and seek deeper understanding. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories about myths, legends, and mysteries. And remember, always question everything.